Hey, and I need all pros. And I'ma sip on this mug cause my dog gone. Tucked off on these niggas like I'm Waldo. And bitch, we gon' stay with the juice till it's all gone. Ruthless.
Yo, what's up? It's Rory JC, Ryan with Dolla, Mr. Welty. This is Effin Football Podcast. We're gonna do a quick wrap up on the entire draft season. We know the draft's been beat to death like a dead horse. And yeah, let's move this guy back. And yeah, so we're gonna go out some of our favorite picks to end the draft season. Dolla signing would go ahead and kick us off.
Yeah, basically we're talking about the draft picks that we like the most, just based on value and the teams that they went to, how well they can fit in with the schemes. My guy that I've been checking out, I'm not gonna lie.
He's been checking him out.
I've been checking him out for quite some time. He's been on my radar. His name is James Washington, wide receiver from Oklahoma State. He got drafted in the second round by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is such a Steelers pick. This is what they've been doing the last few years. They've nailed their position player draft picks. They got Juju Smith-Schuster last year, Antonio Brown years ago, Le'Veon Bell in the later rounds. Just getting great value with these guys that maybe teams overlook based on, their size or like the skills that scouts thought they didn't have, and they just fall to the Steelers. And this is one of those guys. He kind of looks like Antonio Brown. Kind of has this. He has the same kind of build. He almost looks like a running back. He's like 5'11", like 220. He's like crazy build, and he has super long arms. He's initially really quick burst wide receiver. Put up crazy numbers at Oklahoma State with Mason Rudolph, who Tyler's going to get to later. And this guy just wins jump balls. He's got crazy long arms. He's super competitive. And I just really like the fit with the Steelers. I mean, I would have liked him going most places. I think he's going to fit in just as a really competitive wide receiver too. But I think he especially fits well with how the Steelers are drafting right now. He's a win now player with Ben Roethlisberger, and he could help, potentially groom Mason Rudolph in the later years after Ben is gone, if it comes to that.
That's a good connection. I like that.
Yeah.
They had something going on in Oklahoma State, and then that's kind of like your investment in the future right there. Have that, same chemistry that was going on.
Yeah.
And just transfer it to the NFL, because they kind of ran an NFL pro style offense if you watch the tape. And why not? If they got it going on in college and they're so successful, it's a smart move by the Steelers. And you say, how can you ever be against what they do in the late rounds with their track history? You just feel like, they find those guys in those places, and they don't need them to come in right away. They still got two awesome wide receivers, and like I said, wide receivers usually take a little bit longer to develop in the league. But yeah, when he comes on, I'm sure it's going to be a great fit.
Yeah, and last year, Martavis Bryant, he was out, so that allowed Juju Smith-Schuster to come in. He had a great year, and James Washington can do that this year if things break right for him.
If there's an opportunity, I don't know.
There's an opportunity.
They're pretty it's always good to have a third receiver. Somebody's going to play the slot. James Washington, talking about the future possible with Mason Rudolph, that's a good connection. I think you got to believe in the Steelers' abilities to draft and develop wide receivers. They've done it over and over again. So any guy they pick at that position, I'm just going to trust it to be a good pick, because that's you got to look at track record, and that's a franchise known for getting a lot of out of their wide receivers. A lot of drama going on with Pittsburgh lately.
For sure.
The guy's kind of short though, right? Isn't he?
He's 5'11", but he's got pretty good vert, long arms. Catching deep balls is probably what he does best. He's just super competitive, can high point the ball, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what he does. And it's great value in the second round. The next guy I'm going to talk about is DJ Chark, wide receiver from LSU. He's basically the total opposite of James Washington. He's tall, wiry, thin, supernatural athlete, and didn't have a lot of production at LSU. LSU, not known for having great quarterbacks, didn't see a lot of playing time.
You don't like Zach Mettenberger? It's not your guy?
Nah, he didn't do it for me.
Jamarcus Russell?
Jamarcus,
He had a good college
He was
career.
good.
Yeah.
Jamarcus-
He had a good college season.
Yeah, one season. One season he did great.
Sugar Bowl, baby.
Sugar Bowl.
So they should call it the Syrup Bowl.
The Syrup Bowl. I think, yeah, he named his drink after the Sugar Bowl.
You know, Canadians just in the morning we eat cereal, they just get like a bowl of
Maple
syrup.
syrup?
Yeah, just spoon it out of there.
I don't doubt that.
My girlfriend used to live in Canada.
Yeah. She used to spoon it out of there.
Shout out to Liv.
Little
That's your
spoon.
boy.
Little spoon.
It's called a jetpack, okay?
Wow, okay. So, yeah, DJ Chark, this guy is basically all potential. I mean, he looks like Randy Moss. He has same measurables to him.
Okay, you threw out the Randy Moss name.
I'm just saying,
Okay.
He's very wiry thin. I'm not saying
He's wiry.
He's wiry.
Wiry.
He's got a leg on him.
I know some meth heads that are wiry. Too.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys. Put on a helmet.
I don't know him personally. I've seen him.
This guy was picked one pick after James Washington went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They lost Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns, their two most productive receivers.
What round was this?
Second round.
Second round.
They both won the second round? That was how that went?
Yeah, he went the pick right after
Okay.
James Washington. This guy just has a ton of potential. Really was a combine star that really rose his draft up the board. And this guy can come in, be a punt returner, maybe a kick returner, get a lot of playing time, and really realize his potential. Maybe help out Blake Bortles in the process because he's going to need it. He lost his two.
I think it's going to take more than that.
Yeah, that guy needs a lot of help. But
nothing
Bortles-
against DJ Chark. I'm just
Yeah.
saying Blake Bortles.
But I think DJ Chark is going to be his best friend right now.
I think they're going to go on like when I grew up, there used to be a place called Scandia where they have the miniature golf course and the go-karts and stuff.
Yeah.
I think every region has their own version of that.
Okay.
I went to Mulligan's. That was mine.
Mulligan's,
the little
That's what I
race
was
cars. The
Boomers.
Boomers.
There we go.
So they're going to go to Boomers together?
I think so. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at.
A couple of ribeyes.
Bang, boom. I like those players. I like DJ Chark.
Chark's got a lot of potential. I want to see what he can do with it because he's got crazy skills.
I think Blake Bortles can use all the help he gets. It's a great idea to surround him with some offensive talent.
Throw that thing up there.
Yeah,
Let DJ get it.
They've been spending so much money on defense, try to help that guy out. Maybe you'd like to see an offensive lineman here, but
Give him some sugar.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, I mean, you need Blake Bortles to do something. And I mean, how far of a step down could you go from last year where their offense was pretty bad anyways? So, like, it only helps. I mean, even if those two other wide receivers left, I don't know, anything helps. So,
And Chark's biggest skill is his speed. This guy could take the top off of defense and really give room for Leonard Fournette.
you can take the top, huh?
Get the safeties out of the box. Yeah, out of the box on the
What
top.
do you mean by that?
I mean,
What?
I don't know. I'm usually trying to get it in the box.
Whoa.
But, whoa. Okay.
Man,
Out of
everything's
the
going
box.
down south all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
That's gross.
Oh.
That's gross, guys.
Yeah.
What's going down south?
It's eastbound and down, if you know what I'm talking
You know,
about.
Jacksonville is down south.
Yeah. That's why they call our roommate Dirty Jack.
Captain Jack.
Yeah, so that's what's up. Yeah, DJ Chark.
Those are my guys.
Boom.
Those are your guys, huh?
Right.
Those are my
Dawson's
guys. I'm
guys.
going to be watching them.
It's him,
Ooh.
James, and DJ. That's a terrific threesome right there.
It's got to run on wide receivers.
Three
there.
fellas.
Lots of different sizes, you know.
All right. Well, the players I liked, I have a couple players I liked from the draft and that I thought were good value. One of my favorite picks was made by the Green Bay Packers in the second round. Um,
You're not even ready. This guy's not even ready for the draft.
pick
You
40.
come prepared to the podcast.
Pick 45, Josh Jackson, Iowa. He led the nation in interceptions with 8 last year. I think he had a touchdown. He had 2 return touchdowns, 18 pass deflections, which if that's not the top, it's amongst the top. It's got to be within the top 3 because I know Nick Nelson had 16. And I was like, dude,
Whoa.
yeah, he went in the 4th round.
Maybe don't throw to that guy.
This guy, it's always, you're always a little weary when the big stats only happen in one season, but a lot of times guys make a big jump from their junior to, or from their sophomore to junior years. And, yeah, this guy was like heralded as a first round pick. There was mock drafts where he was going, like early versions of mock drafts, like possibly in, the end of the top 10.
40 time didn't help.
40 time, yeah. Richard Sherman didn't have a great 40 time either. So, I'm not calling the guy Richard Sherman. It's all about value. Cornerback overall in the draft is just a tough position to land a dart on the dartboard when you're throwing at these guys. Overall, the position itself is like boom or bust. So if you find a value pick of a first round talent in the second round at that particular position, on a defense that is always seems like it's star for talent and they're always running out guys. The Packers do a good job of just piecing it together on defense, it seems like. So it's good to see them putting a high value, taking cornerbacks in the first 2 rounds. Who's the cornerback they took in the first round?
Jair Alexander.
Yeah, so they get 2 potential first round corners in the first and second rounds, and their first round pick was a trade down. They still got their guy, and they acquired a first round pick in next year's draft.
Yep.
So I think they nailed the pick here. Double up, man. If there's a position you need to improve, you got to attack it. I think they did a great job, especially capping what I thought was a great first round move with an excellent second round move. So plus lead the nation in interceptions. 8 picks, man. Turnovers, man. Game changers. You need game changers, and this guy's a potential game changer in the second round. He's an effing steal, I'll tell you that much.
No, that's cool, man.
I like that, man.
It's like, the Packers, Aaron Rodgers comes back, and that guy's healthy. You kind of expect them to be up by a lot of points, which means the offense is going to have to throw on the other team. So you put out some good defensive backs, you make it difficult on that team to have that comeback that's going to get you at the end. I mean, that's kind of just goes with scheme, You got to be able to, counter what the other offense is going to do. And if you feel like you're going to be scoring lots of points, you got to put the other team in a position where they're going to have to match you, which means they're going to have to throw the ball, which means get yourself some good corners and let them try. I mean, especially if a guy that's going to make turnovers. Those are game-changing moments, those turnovers. So good for the Packers, actually thinking ahead. They're smart. They always seem to have a solid team, even when Brett Hundley is their start quarterback.
Ted Thompson, man. He's a really good GM.
Ted Thompson?
Ted Thompson.
Get some cheese curds from Ted Thompson?
Ted Thompson.
Yeah.
If you're ever in Green Bay, stop by the local TJ at Fridays. You'll run into all your favorite Green Bay Packers in there.
Make sure you buy them a beer.
Just getting lit.
Just turn it up.
Yeah.
Because it's going down on a Tuesday.
Getting turned on a Tuesday?
In a Fridays.
$5 margaritas.
It's all day.
$2 Long Island iced teas. Can't beat that.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
I love those. Love them.
That'll beat you up, man.
Yeah.
Talk about a dirty day out in Long Island, man.
You guys ever been to Long Island? It's just like the drink.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Just saying.
Just saying.
Just drink
I
it.
got you.
Starts great, ends shitty?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
I always thoroughly enjoy a Long Island from start to finish, and usually have an additional one. Because once you pop, you just can't stop. You know what I mean?
Tomato.
That's the motto, right?
Make 7 Up yours.
Got Long Island iced tea. Question mark.
All right, what's your second value pick? What do you think? What do you like?
I have 3 value picks.
Oh, he's
Spoiler
got
alert.
3. Oh, woo!
Who's your third one?
Well, I was
Yeah,
gonna
we
do the
just
next
skipped
2 in
it.
order because they were picked in order in the draft. My next pick is gonna be 5th round draft selection, and whenever you're drafting in the 5th round, like uh, you know, you're
That's
looking for
like
like a special teamer.
It's later than
You-
like the first 4 rounds.
It is. It comes after the 4th round, before
Yeah.
the 6th, however. So
Hey, the
Still a
Chargers got
chance.
Desmond King out of the 5th round, so
Yeah.
that was a solid pick.
Fucking love that guy.
Fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
Interception, returned for a touchdown against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Made my turkey taste that much better. Anyways, go ahead. Keep talking about your guy.
great.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry for all my podcast listeners who don't know who Desmond King is.
You're
I mean,
gonna
that's-
learn today.
That's gonna be that's the story of the 5th round. of the
Next,
NFL
Rondé
draft.
Barber.
Everybody knows this guy though. This guy was a potential 1st round, for a potential top round draft, top 10 pick in the draft this year. Before medical concerns had him out of the combine. I talked about him when me and Welty broke down the Raiders and Chargers draft, but Maurice Hurst, Michigan, even if he plays 3 seasons in the NFL, is a steal in the 5th round for the Oakland Raiders. This guy has Pro Football Focus's highest overall grade ever for an interior rusher for his 2017 college season. Highest grade ever applied to any interior pass rusher. And it's due to the fact that he's got a lightning quick first step. This guy gets off the ball. Plus, when the ball snapped by the center, yeah, he's in the backfield. Man, this guy is
Nice. That was good.
I wish I was a better comic book nerd, but like I don't know if he's Marvel or DC, but the character, the Flash, I don't know which
DC.
DC universe. This guy, Mohurst comes straight out of the DC universe with his first step because this guy's the Flash. He's in the backfield, man. I barely saw it. He was dominant. He had 13 tackles for loss last year, 5.5 sacks, 13.5 sacks in his college career. He's the prototypical 3 technique pass rusher on the inside of the line in the 4-3, which the Raiders run. You heard about teams taking them off their draft board, but there's a lot of teams that wind up cutting their 5th round draft pick anyways. So if you're going to take a chance on a guy who's a 1st rounder, the Raiders say they're going to play it year by year for the medicals. He'll get everything tested. He's has a fire lit, obviously. If it's financial alone, like the amount of dollars you lose dropping from the 1st to the 5th round, I think would be a big motivator for anybody. So the guy's a football player. He's got great technique. He's physically talented. And
The guy's a football player.
yeah, man.
That's
He's
for
like,
sure.
he's a football player, man. He's got technique. Like a lot of these guys are just fucking athletes, especially when you're in the 5th round. Teams are drafting athletes. This guy's a fucking football player. He's an Effin. Here's an Effin podcast guarantee. He's gonna win Defensive
Pro
Rookie
Bowl?
of the Year. No Pro Bowl.
Whoa.
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
And not make a Pro Bowl.
No, and still not make the Pro Bowl.
Damn.
I mean,
That's.
I like the pick too, honestly, because the Raiders are in like a win now situation. If they were a team that wasn't like in a rebuild mode, that would probably be a really dumb pick. But you get all you can out of this guy while he plays football. He fits in a position on a side of the ball where the Raiders just need help desperately. It's poor Raiders.
Yeah, you get him going on the inside. Khalil Mack comes from the outside. If there's any way on earth. that
Wait,
you
who's
can
coming
stop-
on the inside and who's coming on the outside?
Mo is
Anyways.
coming on the inside. Khalil's coming on the outside, and I don't want to be the guy in the middle of that. Okay, I'll tell you that much.
And the quarterback's gonna get removed.
And the quarterback's gonna get creamed.
Is that what a cockney sandwich is?
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about, man.
I like Mohurst too. I think he's got a lot of special talent. And yeah, 5th round, why not? Take a flyer.
His father was a professional NFL player as well.
Bruce Hurst.
Was it Bruce Hurst?
I don't know.
I was
That was really believable. I was like,
I was
oh, yeah,
unaware.
Bruce.
I was unaware until I saw a Twitter comment that was just like it was Mohurst and there's another guy that got drafted this year with a
Heart disease.
with a professional father.
Oh.
It was a he said that the all Tecmo Bowl juniors because they both had fathers in the
Terrell
Tecmo Bowl.
Edmonds.
Yeah,
Farrell Edmonds.
yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was. Maybe it was.
Edmonds.
Pharrell or Farrell?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Farrell.
I like that cat.
Depends
though.
if you're white or black.
He's an Irishman.
Pharrell, no, he actually makes #1 hit singles.
For real?
For sure, though. So yeah, Mohurst, fucking big time. I think the guy is great.
Good luck with that.
My third guy's, we'll see how with him. It just depends on how long he lasts, really, in the league. If you get 3 seasons, it's a great pick.
That's what she said.
If 5th round picks, what are you gonna do? You can't bank on them. It's all potential. But this guy is like he's got production. So, my honorary mention, I feel like he's got to be talked about just because of how he dominated the combine. Not even like how great of his story is, though it's a great story. But Shaquem Griffin, who got drafted by the Seahawks, the pick right after Mohurst. I guess this is like I was surprised he fell this far. I'm not even gonna lie. How fast did he run his 40 in?
It was a 4.38.
4.38, 40, 20 reps in the bench with his prosthetic clip on. That was pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome he's going to go play with his brother, too. Like, that's just a cool story.
Yeah.
Just
It's pretty
as
awesome.
a human being, you got to be like, all right, that's pretty cool. For the guy that has all the potential in the world minus an arm, I mean, let him play with his brother. It feels good. It feels good. And everybody wants this guy to succeed. Like, anybody who's just seen the underdog in the world and just see them overcome adversity. You look at Shaquem Griffin.
This guy is the name butcher. Welty,
Shaquem Griffin.
Name butcher.
I mean, no.
We love you, Shaquem.
I'm sorry, Shaquem. No disrespect. I don't want you to hit me with your nub.
Queefs are cool too, though.
I mean, I don't judge.
Debatable. I'm gonna effing debate that. The guy, you gotta love the story, but you gotta love the production, man. Just destroyed the combine. His last 2 years in college hit a combined 33.5 tackles for loss and combined 18.5 sacks to go with 2 interceptions and 10 pass deflections and 4 forced fumbles. Like he went to Central Florida, which isn't the biggest program. They're not playing like all the biggest schools, but they play some extremely high level competition.
They went undefeated last year.
They went undefeated. They were their own honorary national champions. He's got a ring that they made for themselves. Yeah. That's a story for another day, but that has nothing to do with him. But it does because of his overall high-level talent. Everybody's, the biggest question mark is, how does it translate to the NFL? Because he isn't like the biggest dude in the world either, 6'1", 223. But that's kind of like the prototype weak side linebacker these days. Because now weak side linebackers are just like somewhere between a strong safety and a weak side linebacker.
It's like the hybrid position now. That's kind of what it is.
It's the nickel back. You know what I'm saying?
He's got the speed to cover most positions.
Yeah, he's not the nickel cornerback is what I mean, but he comes in nickel packages. Like that's what he'll come in as a special teams player, of course, and blaze down the field. The big question mark is it makes me think about when JPP blew all his fingers off for the firework. Like, will he still be productive? Like, he has a little less. That guy can't grip onto anything.
Plays with the club.
Plays. The guy had 2 interceptions, so. I don't know. 1 arm and a half, 2 interceptions. Apparently he's doing something right. Great numbers. Destroyed the combine. I thought he would go in the 5th round. Seems appropriate. Third round. He's like a 1st round talent with two full arms.
Yeah.
Goes in the 5th round.
I agree.
So I think it's a great pick in the 5th round. Because I think he has potential to play like a 2nd or 3rd round pick.
Yeah, I mean, he just has to overcome the adversity that comes with having that. And So far, he's done it at every turn, so why not think he can't do it again?
So
Those are your picks? That's what you got going on?
I like the potential in the 5th round for the best story of the draft. So
For sure.
Yeah, everyone in America is rooting for Shaquem Griffin.
America!
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah! By the way, Effin Podcast comes to you, brought to you by Coors Light and a good old American beer. And this is filmed in San Diego, California,
And Coke.
in America.
And 805, shout out to the
And if you don't like
California craft brewers.
if
Good
you
for
don't-
man.
And iPhones.
Fuck iPhones. And if you don't like America, then fuck you.
All right,
It's all of our international fans.
yeah, you know what we're talking about. You know we
I'm
mean.
talking about you, motherfucker.
You know who you are.
All right, so I'll get into my favorite 2 picks of the draft.
How do you plan on getting into them?
I'm just gonna
Are
go
you gonna use protection?
straight to the point.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna go.
Slow and steady.
Wait, straight to the point or slow and steady? Which
It can be both.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with straight to the point, which we're actually not really doing right now. But I'm gonna say Mason Rudolph, Oklahoma State quarterback. He went to the Steelers in the 3rd round. The guy was projected to be in the 2nd round, even some whispers about him going in the 1st round. But I think it's perfect for the Steelers. Like, first of all, you think about Big Ben. He's getting old. He talked about retiring soon. I mean, as soon as they drafted him, he started talking a bunch of shit because that's what Ben Roethlisberger does. But at the same time, the guy gets hurt a lot. Like, how many backup quarterbacks have you seen play for the Steelers over the years? Like the Maddoxes and whatnot of the world. So even if he, isn't meant to play right away, you still have a guy that could come in and fill that gap and kind of be the next, Ben Roethlisberger. He's got a big build. He's got a big arm. He made James Washington look good at Oklahoma State.
That's his guy.
Sometimes it's the other way around.
I don't know.
Mike Evans.
Watch the tape. I mean, Mason Rudolph looks like an NFL quarterback when you see the tape. He's really good in the pocket. He stands tall. He gets the ball down the field, which is something like you see with some young quarterbacks. All they do is check down and throw to their tight end because they're scared to get the ball down the field. That's not Mason Rudolph at all. This guy, he's very accurate downfield, which is really impressive. And I think with NFL, that's what you want to see transfer is accuracy and pocket presence. Because you got to see a guy that's going to be, pressured and still be able to throw a good football. Because that's good.
What was his accuracy numbers like?
I think he threw 65% completion percentage. You saw every year in college, he was getting better and better and better. You saw progression every single year. And like I said, with the Steelers in the 3rd round, getting a guy that was projected to go in the 2nd, maybe the 1st, and then you got an aging quarterback who's often injured. Why not get Mason Rudolph? Who knows? Maybe he's your quarterback in 3 years from now, and he can lead you for the next step. He can kind of pull that Aaron Rodgers kind of move where good quarterback falls later in the draft with a team that already has a veteran in place, and you can have an ease of transfer with your starting quarterback. So, yeah, Mason Rudolph, 3rd round. I think good move, Steelers. You guys got anything to say about Mason Rudolph?
The guy likes to sling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sells drugs. I don't believe much in 3rd round quarterbacks. I think the talent's always found in the 1st round. You have rare circumstances of Russell Wilson's and Tom Brady's, but Jimmy Garoppolo's who come from a small school and fall to the 2nd round, drafted by a smart team who developed them before they even play. I think it's very rare. Tony Romo undrafted. Those are very rare. Most quality quarterbacks come in the 1st round, and that's why I always question any quarterback pick coming in the mid rounds, the 3rd, the 4th, specifically. It seems like if you land on a quarterback, it's usually in the 1st or the beginning of the 2nd round. That being said, like I haven't broke down Mason Rudolph's tape. I know Big Ben's not impressed.
Of course he's not.
If not, he's at least acting unimpressed.
He's not like, I don't know if teams were that impressed, he would have been drafted before the 3rd round. Quarterback is the most important position, and there's still teams that could use an upgrade at the position currently. So
I don't think
the
I don't know if-
Jaguars would have landed on him in the second round if he was that good.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think if they really believe he's the quarterback of the future, but Ben Roethlisberger gets hurt a lot. They have Landry Jones as well, right?
Yeah.
So,
So
I
was
mean-
that a 4th round pick?
A while ago, yeah.
So I mean that's
Rudolph can. I mean, he could probably beat Landry Jones and be the backup. Maybe that's what they're aiming for. But just an insurance policy, basically.
and part of the difference though is like I did hear Mason Rudolph floated by some crazy people in the first round. You didn't hear that about Landry Jones. So that's
Right.
not that I remember. Landry Jones was the guy who was supposed to be down there. But you also remember when totally different style of player, but like everybody was surprised when Matt Barkley fell to the 3rd or 4th round or whatever it was, and
It happens.
he just wasn't a first round talent.
Yeah.
And the evaluators are the ones who make those decisions.
I
But
thought Barkley, he just mentally didn't have it. I don't think he was ready to be a professional quarterback.
physically, he
Yeah,
didn't
kind of
have
a
it.
smaller
He
guy.
didn't. He wasn't.
I like Rudolph. I like his measurables and
Yeah, Rudolph isn't a small guy.
he's an
That's not him.
aggressive. He seems to be an aggressive quarterback that takes shots, which I like. But I was telling you guys earlier before this, if you look at his draft day video where he was hanging out with his family and he got the call to get drafted, all of like his brothers and his friends had the same haircut as him, and I thought that was fucked up.
Reminds
So
me.
I'm out on the guy.
For that reason. I know you
I
practiced.
don't-
I know you balled out this year, but your
Yeah.
fucking haircut is ridiculous.
No, it's not
Can't
even
have
that.
any of that.
It's not even that his haircut is ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they all have the same as him. I think that's weird.
I really think the Steelers.
I think he's a weird guy. I think he's running a cult.
Yeah, I think that if
And Ben
he's-
Roethlisberger recognized
The
that.
dude's just probably a nerd, all right? He's a football nerd. He's probably a Midwest, all I did was football and drink beer kind of nerd. And
Yeah.
who cares?
I don't think star quarterbacks
I'm out.
are ever really nerds, man. Like
Derek Carr's a
They're
nerd. Derek
nerds.
Carr is a
They're
nerd.
nerds
Derek
for
Carr,
football.
Derek Carr is like a nice Christian guy.
They're fucking
He's-
football nerds. Like they nerd out.
Peyton
about
Manning's
that
a nerd. Derek Carr's not a nerd.
shit. Aaron
Derek Carr is a
Rodgers.
nerd. Philip Rivers is a nerd.
Aaron
Brady.
Peyton
Rodgers,
Manning is a
Aaron
nerd.
Rodgers and Derek Carr from California, bro. Like they're-
So the
That
fuck
doesn't
what?
make him cool. I know lots of
So
nerds.
is
that
Tom
look at it.
Brady. Tom Brady's a nerd.
I think Tom Brady's cool. I think all those guys.
No,
are
they're
cool,
all
so-
cool, but like they
Except for Peyton Manning,
they
he's-
nerd out
he's a
on
nerd.
football.
Yeah, football nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's a football nerd. That's what we're saying.
You're a football nerd.
Yeah, it's pretty much like Jocks, Dungeons, and Dragons. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to get to my second pick that I really liked for
Wow,
the NFL draft.
I had something to say.
All right, so go ahead. So talk about how big of a football nerd you are.
Well, I just wanted to make a point here. Here's what I think the Steelers are doing. They're going to take the Patriot method, where they draft a quarterback every single year, except for this year, surprisingly, to try to replace,
Patriots did.
to set up a Tom. Yeah, but it was later because they've been taking guys like Garoppolo and Brissett, and there's been other guys like through the years that have been picking in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th rounds, those rounds specifically, guys who weren't like, going to be the starter, but they got trade value for Garoppolo and Brissett.
Yeah, but all those guys saw like quality playing time for the regular season, and so they were actually shown to be useful for the team that drafted them. And yeah, maybe he does get traded, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, that's actually a really good piece to have, is if you can trade a quality quarterback if you already have one. Why not? And I think that just adds validity to the quality of the pick. Why not?
I think that Mason Rudolph is going to have man, who's the guy I'm searching for? Was the Saints? He's the Saints backup. I think.
Oh, Chase Daniels?
He's going to have a Chase Daniel-like career.
Chase Daniels
My
never got a fair
prediction.
shot. If he was 2 inches
He's
taller.
made more money playing less snaps than anybody, I think, in the history of the NFL.
Chase Daniels.
Chase Daniels.
He won the game.
Barely trotted out onto the field.
That guy-
Winning.
He's got like $40 million in his bank
That
account.
guy won the game.
And Mason
Yeah.
Rudolph, like, that would be best case scenario. Don't go out and get brain
Yeah.
damage. It's just fucking
You know,
like.
Sam Bradford made the most money playing the game, but he gets scrutinized like on a daily basis. Chase Daniels doesn't deal with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's true.
He got paid the most money for not playing the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
But hey, he kind of reminds me of the quarterback for Blue Mountain State.
I
You guys ever
appreciate
watch that show?
Alex.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
refused to be the starter because he didn't actually want responsibility, but he just wanted to party with the guys.
More like
that's
Fowler.
Good move, Chase
That's
Daniels.
a great comp.
Hey, and Mason Rudolph, if you can be Chase Daniels, that's winning.
That'd be
You
winning
win.
in life.
You
That's
win,
not
man.
winning in football, but it's definitely winning in life.
Yes.
And
Okay.
that's what I would recommend. No brain damage. Just collect that money and get that paycheck. Because I don't think
Yeah.
you're starter material. anyways.
Come on,
Chase,
take the money and
Chase
run.
Rudolph. I mean Mason Daniel. My bad.
Rudolph the red-nosed
Mason
reindeer.
Daniels.
He had a shiny nose.
Jack Daniels.
My second pick that I like from the NFL draft, Justin Reed. He was a safety at Stanford. He got picked in the 3rd round by the Houston Texans. That was actually their first pick of the draft. They've been traded away their first 2. The guy is 6'1". He's 207 pounds. He ran a 4.40 at 207 pounds and a 36.5-inch vert. I think that was great value and a great fit because the Texans, like I said, with their offenses on cue, and they're going to be scoring lots of points with Deshaun Watson, with, who was that wide receiver they got that I'm blanking on right now? That's just super
Will
dope.
Fuller.
Will Fuller.
The
No.
4th.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame?
The
No.
Fighting Irish.
No.
South Bend. Indiana. Potatoes.
Him and Watkins, all right, whatever. They're going to score a lot of points if that team can stay healthy, and this guy is going to help make sure that their team can. Like I said, he had 5 interceptions his senior year. He played against good talent. He had to play against Josh Rosen. He had to play against Sam Darnold, the 2, top quarterbacks of this year's draft. Probably should have been, who knows, debatable. But yeah, he gets up in the air. He's got a big jump, 36.5 vert. Like I said, he's got good ball skills. The guy had over 90 tackles too. He can play near the line of scrimmage. He's a solid tackler. Like I said, he's got the height to play good defense, good center field. He's got the length. I just think it was solid all around. This guy's a good football player, and he's got good measurables. He was projected to go probably in the 2nd round, fell to the Houston Texans in the 3rd round, and I think he's going to help them win now. I think that was a good piece to add, especially because since they didn't have a 1st and 2nd round, they got essentially a 2nd round guy with their first pick in the 3rd round. So good for you, Houston Texans. I like what you did. Well played. Well played. You guys know anything about Justin Reed, or we just
I know about Justin Reed.
what you know about Justin Reed?
I was hoping that he'd be a target on the Raiders board in the 2nd round. Justin Reed is out of Stanford, which is Northern California. So that's
Hometown
good.
bias.
Yeah, I tend to pay attention to players that play at Stanford or Cal Berkeley just because. And, his name was talked about a lot. 3rd round was, I guess a lot of people say 2nd or 3rd round grade on players, but I heard mostly like 2nd round grade on this guy. So whenever you get, like you said, a 2nd round value in the 3rd round, it all depends on how it plays out on the field. I haven't broken down this guy's tape. I'm not going to say anything like that.
The guy's a football player. Watch him on the tape. He said he's all over the field. He gets turnovers.
A lot of these guys is kind of, just look at the bloodline, man. Whenever runs within the family, like it's a strong indicator, that they're going to be successful.
Isn't it funny that he has a job and his brother is Eric Reed. He was a safety for the 49ers who played at a Pro Bowl level, but he doesn't have a job yet, and which is ironic. The guy that's a proven NFL talent.
That's crazy because with the way that John Gruden's chasing after veterans and he's let this veteran safety of high quality, former All-Pro, just hang out in the wind there.
Is it collusion, man? Collusion? If you take a knee, you don't get to play?
I think he's going to get a invite to a training session with the Raiders sometime soon. I would make that prediction.
It would be a good move.
We'll see.
Yeah. But I like the Justin Reed pick.
I like this guy.
I would have talked about it. If you didn't pick this one to talk about, I would have talked about him.
He's got good tape.
Good tape, good size, good speed, good jump. He gets turnovers. He's a solid tackler. You got him in the 3rd round. He said he played at Stanford. He had to play against Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, and he played well.
I think
What
there's-
else do you want out of your safety coming out of college? I don't know what you're missing. He's not going to be Derwin James. He doesn't have crazy immeasurables. He's not, obviously 6'3".
I can't wait for Derwin James.
I know. He's going to be a game changer.
Can't wait to watch.
But, Justin Reed, he's going to be a football player as well. He's going to play well for the Texans. He can help them win now. Great value, great fit, great need of the Texans, and able to fill it, which is awesome. Everybody likes when they're able to fill it.
The Texans.
Well, he'll play
They're
back. He'll
building
play back there
something.
with Tyron Matthew, and
Yeah,
Just some
he'll have a
ball
veteran
hawks.
to learn from.
Some
Yeah.
ball
We don't know if
hawks in
this
the
guy's
middle
a
of the
day
field.
one impactor, but it's an excellent pick.
I like.
I'd give it a high grade. As in, I think this guy probably gets high. He's played football in Northern California.
Some high grade marijuana.
Yeah, some high
Yeah.
grade. I would give it a grade of Kush.
I'll call it some chronic. Guys, he's some good chronic right here.
Some pot.
It's some kilocalorie. It's a train wreck.
Yeah, it's not no mids. This guy's not a mids.
It's not
No
mid.
seeds, bitch, please.
Nah, man.
Papa ain't soft.
It's,
He ain't
it's
no
the
brickweed.
high- It's the
You
high.
know what I'm saying?
It's not. He's not Bammer, if you know what I mean. Don't give me no Bama weed. I don't smoke that shit in the
I just,
era C.
I have a prediction. I think the second round is just gonna be. It's basically gonna be the first round. Like the best guys are gonna come out of the second round.
All right, you guys. Who do you
This year's
think? Offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. Who do you got?
Oh damn! I'm gonna say, man, offensive rookie of the year.
Easy. It's so easy. It's so easy.
Who is it?
Saquon Barkley is going to
Saquon
be
Barkley, yeah, I mean,
offensive
he's-
player of the year.
He is set up. I mean, but that's kind of what I'm afraid of. I think he's just gonna get worked so hard, so fast.
He's also going to play a lot.
A
But
lot
no,
of times
I honestly, Saquon Barkley's a lock, and I think Derwin James is going to be defensive player of the year.
There's some bias there.
I hope Derwin James.
Who do you got? I mean, Mika Fitzpatrick. I don't think the Dolphins win enough games for him to get any awards.
I
It's
think-
a team award. Any award is practically
It's
a
hard.
team award.
It's hard as a safety.
The offensive
to-
player of
to
the
do
year
it.
is going to be one of the offensive rookie of the year is going to be one of the quarterbacks. Any one of them is going to be offensive rookie of the
The
year.
best of the quarterbacks.
Yes, the defensive rookie of the year. It usually goes to an active position like linebacker or like safety or corner.
Guys who make a lot of tackles.
I would say Roquan Smith will be the defensive rookie of the year. And I think that'll be easy for him to accomplish because he'll stack up so many tackles and statistics that, the stat sheet will do it for him.
Okay.
And if I was going to predict which quarterback would win that offensive rookie of the year,
I'm gonna say Josh Rosen.
I'm going to say Baker Mayfield.
I'm going to say Sam Darnold.
I'll go different. Sam's like a shoe in to play. Well, Sam Darnold is. Josh Rosen has to see if Sam Bradford fails due to injury. Plus, I saw him tying his shoe the other day, and when he bent down, he broke 3 vertebrae in his back. So I've heard he's on the IR already.
Well, what
And,
happens is he breaks down.
For me, it's the toughest road, but it's the biggest name. And I think when the Browns front office gets impatient and they sit Tyrod Taylor, because Hugh Jackson's job is on the line, it'll be Hugh's call. He puts in Broadway Baker Mayfield is what it should have been.
He's going to have to play enough games to win that award.
He's the most exciting. He's the best of the quarterbacks.
He's gonna have to pull a Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, he's gonna light it up when he gets in there, and then because he already has the big name and the Heisman, he'll win it by default. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, I got to pee, and we're hitting the 45-minute mark, so let's wrap it up.
I like
We'll run it up.
your guys' picks. I'm really excited for. I'm just excited for football.
Yeah, can we just watch football yet?
I miss
Jesus
football.
Christ.
So yeah.
Outro.
So welcome to another episode, and thank you for not welcome, but thank you for staying here and being a part of this with the Effin Football Host Squad. We appreciate all the support. We'll see you next week, and I think we're gonna start breaking down stuff about the future.
Hey, and I need need all pros. And I'ma sip on this plug till my dog gone. Turned off on these niggas like I'm Waldo. And bitch, we gon' stay with the juice till it's all gone.
Welcome.
Yeah, bitch, I'm ruthless.
You know what time it is. Holla at your boy.
Bro, got this strap. Wrong move, he'll shoot you. Big black. Make that bitch feel like he's Truman. Niggas told the boss that